All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai, by Hashem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect pushing this word in sincerity and truth on the four corners of the earth. All right, and just right quick, it's another article from RT News, which is a military vet, an American military vet, basically admitting the atrocities that they commit in foreign lands. All right, you see the title. It says, "We did bad, evil things there." Vet turned peace activist on growing dissent with U.S. forever wars. All right, so when you get into this article, which of course I will, this is going to be an example of Psalms. I believe this is Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right. So now you got this vet that's, claimed to be a peace activist at this moment. And, obviously his conscience, all right, as it pertains to the mind state that he's in now, being a peace activist, whatever that is, is conscience fucking with him. So now he's coming out and saying we did bad, evil things there. But when you look at the American media, the way that they present wars to the people is that we're fighting the good fight, or we're actually the good guys in the war. They brainwash the people with the media, all right, and even the soldiers within, the military, whether you be Air Force, Marines, Navy, whatever, Army, all right, they rally you around some ideal that you're doing a good thing when you go into these lands and kill people. And that's the MO of Esau, man. All right, like the scripture say, he stayeth not at home, paraphrasing. All right, he goes around the world, all right, and murders people, man, for financial gain, for imperialism, really. Because that's really all it is like an imperialistic like mind state that Esau has, that he has to go into everybody's land to take over, all right. But once again, this is Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right, your tongue falling upon yourself is, basically exposing yourself. And this man, he still got blood on his hands. I don't know if he think, coming out and admitting this, makes him some type of better person. He still got blood on his hands, but his tongue is falling upon himself out of guilt, huh? All right. So once again, title of this article is "We Did Bad, Evil Things There." All right, and it says vet turned peace activist on growing dissent with U.S. forever wars. Now the article starts off. It says a recent opinion poll shows the majority of American veterans think foreign wars were not worth fighting. RT spoke to one such person who says his tours in Iraq and Afghanistan served weapons manufacturers and not the people. So when you go to the weapon manufacturer part of this article, those international bankers which bankroll both sides of the wars, they get paid off that. Where you think niggas is getting tanks and shit from, and the money to make all these missiles and AR-15s and whatever weapons that they have. All right, the manufacturers of these weapons are the ones that's getting rich off the war. All right, Salakia, but they're the ones that's making the money. You just use it as a chess piece, as a pawn. All right, for basically a violent business venture. That's all a war is business. All right, even when you look at the American government or this wicked power structure, you notice when the Republicans come into office, all right, it's usually a war that's going, not usually, but for the most part, it's a war that's going to start. All right, like in my lifetime, Bush Senior, all right, which I was like a very small child when he was in office. You know what I'm saying? It might have been Clinton left in, yeah, I was like 1, 2, maybe 3 years old when he was in office. All right, but it was at war. All right, then Clinton come in, things chill out. Then the other Bush come in, war. All right, Obama in there. Now Trump in there. War's about to come. All right, and that's not to say that the Democrats are good people either. It's just, you know, the business aspect of war. All right, because those Republicans is usually them rich businessmen. That's why they always give tax break to the rich. All right, but it says these wars were unjust, illegal, immoral, should have never happened. Will Griffin, who is now an anti-war activist and organizer, told RT that he said that would be true regardless of any poll. America's growing disillusionment with endless military deployments on foreign soil was highlighted in Pew Research Center report on Wednesday. The polling agency says 64% of veterans in the U.S. thought the war in Iraq was not worth fighting. The same answer was given about Afghanistan, the longest war in American history, by 58% of those polled. So even the soldiers are starting to see that these wars are pointless. All right, because when you look at it, man, when they go into Iraq, I'm talking about the Bush days, 2001. Talking about George Bush Jr. 2001. So that's like 18 years, man. They've been over there over a decade killing, almost 2 decades, man. And nothing has changed over there. Because Ishmael is going to keep fighting back, you know what I'm saying? But it says, Griffin said one didn't need to look deep to see that engagements in Middle East were reprehensible and senseless. This is a quote of his. More civilians have died than enemy combatants. So they just over there killing people. But in the damn, Shalaki. But in the news, they'll tell you that they over there killing, they got many names, terrorists, insurgents, ISIS. They going to come up with some new shit soon, just to keep you thinking, oh, it's such a growing, the enemy is over there growing. They got subdivisions. This dude and this is somebody who was over there. He just said out his mouth, more civilians have died than enemy combatants. They just over there killing, man. Says veteran suicides are at an all-time high. Guilt. A lot of the veteran suicides is guilt, and they got that PTSD because you over there doing all that murdering, man. That shit stick with you, man. For those who have a conscience. All right, Esau can just kill all day, but that shit stick with you. So a lot of them veteran suicides are not because they come back and they homeless. It's because of the things that they've seen, that PTSD. Or they become alcoholics. They become drug addicts. Anything to ease their mind from the evil that they know they committed. All right. It says there are no schools or hospitals being built in these countries. More bombs are being dropped. And terrorist organizations have risen exponentially since 2011. Why? Because they defending themselves. How are you going to call somebody a terrorist organization when you over there terrorizing their people? The terrorist organization is America. You're the terrorist. Alright? That's that double speak shit though. Because he say more civilians have died than enemy combatants. So you over there killing everybody. Veteran suicides are at an all-time high, which speaks to the PTSD on your people. It says there are no schools or hospitals being built. So you over there destroying the people, destroying the land. More bombs are being dropped. So you're continuing to do so. Then he says terrorist organizations have risen since 2011. They're defending themselves. How you gonna call me a terrorist and you terrorizing me? Alright? It says, so every goal that we had going into Iraq and Afghanistan have failed by every single measure, he explained. Alright, so it ain't it's just guerrilla warfare, man. It's not even, the dude said every plan that they had done failed. So what was the plan? You notice he ain't named none of the plans. Alright. It says, as a veteran, he knows well the feeling of the guilt that one can bring back from a deployment. They over there doing all kind of wickedness, man. All right. It says the things we did there were very bad and evil things. You know how American soldiers get out, shooting people around, roping people up. You know what I'm saying? You know they over there raping them women, which is a part of war. All right, but Esau doing it is wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? He takes things to the max, man. You know. It says, I spent 2 years in combat zones in Iraq and Afghanistan. He said, as a mechanic, I most certainly worked on vehicles that killed people over there. Who they killed, I do not know. And that's a lie. I mean, who the fuck else is over there killing? You know what I'm saying? You know everybody's a target. All them people over there that's just stupid. Who they killed? It was killing men, women, and children. You know what I'm saying? That's who they killed, man. So I guess that's how he rationalizes. I was just working on the truck, on the whatever, the Humvee. I don't know who they killed. Man, you know who they killed, man. Everything moving. All right. It says, he said after returning home and educating himself, he realized that he was basically cheated into believing that his military service was justified, which is true, because they rally you, man. You know, you got the commander here come up and give some dumbass long speech, man. And you feel inspired to go murder. You know, it says, I never served or provided service to the American people. Right, because the military doesn't do that. That's a myth. The military doesn't. What are you doing for the American people while you all the way over there across the water? You know, like one of the slogans that they have is that they're protecting the freedom of the American citizens. When has American freedom ever been compromised by anybody but its own government? Who's came over here? Who's rushed America and tried to like put everybody in subjection? The only people that's compromising your freedoms is your own government. All right. It says I never served or provided service to the American people, or the people of Iraq, or the people of Afghanistan, because you was killing them. It says who I did serve were the corporations. See, even so, the truth is flowing, man. All right. Esau getting exposed on every level, even by his own quote unquote soldiers. All right. He said who I did serve were the corporations, the weapons manufacturers, and the politicians, who benefited their careers off of these wars and off of the lives of my fellow soldiers and innocent civilians, he said. So this is a former soldier who realizes that the American military system is corrupt, man. Because now you're getting into the corporations, man. All right, when we say corporations, talking about them international bankers, the good old boys with the billions and billions and shit. He said weapons manufacturer. That's in the same vein because they own the weapon manufacturers, and the politicians is the ones who kind of make these decisions. Well, they're put in front of the people to make these decisions to go to war and shit. All right. So this dude exposing, and he's a former American soldier. See, one thing that they try to do is, well, y'all just talking shit. I don't know this dude. He ain't no Israelite. Not that I know of. He ain't preaching the word. Yes, he's confusing the faces, but hey, he ain't in the truth. You know, Hebrew Israelites ain't throwing him no couple dollars to say this. So y'all explain, man. Y'all explain why this guy says the same exact thing, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Y'all explain why this guy is saying the exact same thing that's being said by those who believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai as it pertains to exposing America's military conquest, man. Their imperialism, their bloodthirst from one corner of the earth to the other. They killing everybody. All right. So I just want to make that quick video, man. I hope it was edifying. All right, with that, I'm going to say shalom.